going on, everybody? Be sure and check that description box down below as I've linked a few of my most recent videos. There is a ton going on in the world of horror right now, and I will always keep you guys up to date on the most important news, so be sure and subscribe, like this video, but for now, let's get on with the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Hit that like button. I mean it. Hit that like button. And let's get right into today's video. Justin here. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. We got some big news today in the world of Toxic Avenger. One of the biggest cult movies of all time, 1984's The Toxic Avenger, is getting a reboot. We knew about this last year. In fact, I even did a video about it a few months ago when Peter Dinklage was cast. Yes, Peter Dinklage is playing the Toxic Avenger, probably the human version of it before he gets transformed, I would assume. But now we have just another ridiculous casting announcement. Elijah Wood is going to be playing the main villain in the Toxic Avenger reboot alongside Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, and Taylor Page. So let's go ahead and go over everything we know so far, plot details, casting, and all that stuff. And then I want to talk a little bit about Macon Blair because he is really the key to why I have faith in this project. He's an amazing writer-director. But let's get into what we know so far. So Screen Rant reports Toxic Avenger movie reportedly adds Elijah Wood as lead villain. Elijah Wood will reportedly play the lead villain in the Toxic Avenger reboot, sharing the screen with Peter Dinklage, Taylor Page, and Jacob Tremblay. Wow. A reboot of the film has been in the works since 2010, however, the ball didn't get rolling until Legendary stepped in and acquired the filming rights for the movie. Recently, Legendary nabbed Macon Blair as the Toxic Avengers writer-director, and the film has been slowly coming together. As reported by the Illuminati, Elijah Wood has allegedly been cast as the lead villain in the Toxic Avenger. Wood will take on the role of Bob Garbinger, the greedy and corrupt boss of Winston, played by Peter Dinklage, who seeks to become as powerful as the Toxic Avenger, according to reports. Bob Garbinger's character is described as 40 to 50, leonine hair, and eerie plastic surgery. Evil head of the shady company Garbex, he has no regard for the well-being of anyone but himself, and he embarks on a murderous spree to become as powerful as Toxie. The outlet also brings us the official description for the film, which reads, based on the 1984 cult classic of the same name, set in a fantasy world following Winston, a stereotypical weakling who works as a janitor at Garbex Health Club and is diagnosed with a terminal illness that can only be cured by an expensive treatment that his greedy, power-hungry employer refuses to pay for. After deciding to take matters into his own hands and rob his company, Winston falls into a pit of toxic waste and is transformed into a deformed monster that sets out to do good and get back at all the people who have wronged him. So that's all the basic info that we have so far about the plot. The plot is slightly different. In the original movie, he falls into the toxic waste when he's pushed out of a window by some bullies who just terrorize him. In this one, it sounds like there's a little bit more plot details. The quality of actors, the dramatic actors that are in this reboot is just kind of mind-blowing. You have Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. We have Jacob Tremblay, who was the little boy in Room, that really dramatic Oscar-winning movie. He was also in The Good Boys, showing a little comedic chops. He's going to be playing Peter Dinklage's son, from what I've read. And also Taylor Page. I'm not too familiar with her, but she's going to play the female lead in the movie. And now we have the announcement that Elijah Wood is going to be playing the main villain in this movie, Bob Garbinger. Now, Elijah Wood is no stranger to playing a son of a bitch. He was in Sin City, playing that really creepy character. He was also in Maniac, the remake of Maniac. He produces a bunch of really awesome, unique, independent horror movies, and he's worked with writer-director Macon Blair before, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Macon Blair, the writer-director of this reboot, is incredibly talented. He wrote and directed a movie called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, which actually starred Elijah Wood. It's a Netflix original. I highly recommend you guys seek that movie out and watch it. It's amazing. He's also been in a bunch of things as an actor. He was in Jeremy Saulnier's Blue Ruin and also a follow-up Green Room, which are two amazing movies. And he was in the Florida Project, and he's been in a bunch of different stuff. Super talented guy, but the movies he's involved with, especially Blue Ruin, Green Room, I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, these are not tame movies by any means. They have sudden jolts of graphic, brutal violence. They don't shy away from really gnarly, edgy stuff. So I have a feeling that this movie has a lot of promise. Even Lloyd Kaufman, the writer, director, the original creator of The Toxic Avenger, has nothing but good things to say about Macon Blair. Apparently he's read the script and said it's amazing. He even says it's better than the original. So we'll see what he has to say. I'll link these articles down below. There's a Dread Central article, an interview with Lloyd Kaufman talking about Macon Blair and the reboot. I'll link this Screen Rant article down below. But I have a lot of faith in this reboot. I am a massive fan of the Toxic Avenger series. I own all 4 movies on Blu-ray. You can see I'm rocking the shirt here. 4 movies, a Saturday morning cartoon. Somehow they spun it into a kid-friendly Saturday morning cartoon back in the 80s or 90s. It's pretty wild, but I imagine this new version will be slightly tamed down, but I trust Macon Blair that it'll keep the brutality and keep the spirit of the original cult flavor of the original movie intact. So we'll just have to see. I'll keep you guys posted as I learn any news. So pretty amazing. Elijah Wood cast in the Toxic Avenger reboot. Let me know your comments down below. What are your thoughts on the Toxic Avenger reboot? I know it seems like all I talk about is reboots on this channel. It's pretty wild, but that's all I got, guys. I think we're done here. So stay weird, always be yourself, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.